Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And here is another article, once again on this whole illegal migrant situation. And, there's a reason why the Spirit has this, continuing to come out. And as I was watching the video, there was a clip that was put up by the brother Amawanga Bar on his other page, and it was Trump basically talking about how when he gets into office, one of the first things he's gonna do, one of the first order of operations he's gonna do is to deport these illegal migrants, build a wall, set up a robust, immigration system or whatnot. And as I'm looking at the way things are moving with this whole migrant situation, there's a lot more, and we said this, right? But there's a lot more cases now where I think recently there was one, a situation where they said an illegal migrant raped this woman and then fled. There was one there, they said one of them murdered a student or murdered somebody. I think it was in Georgia or so. And there's a few more cases. In this article, there's even talks of one of them murdering a 2-year-old. So now you're starting to see, like, it's not just like petty crimes or simple misdemeanors. Like these are becoming a dangerous case. But what else is happening is more people are now starting to basically rally behind Trump because of the idea of building a wall or getting the country back on back to safety or back on track. Now we know that these and I'm just going to say a few words and then we go into the article, but we know that both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are really just two wings on the same bird, or two sides of the same coin. Okay, two puppets controlled by the same puppet master. But if you're paying attention, each time, when you have one party in office, by the time it's the end of the 4 years, the other party is coming in there, but they sort of set each other up, right? When Trump was leaving office, I am pretty sure the majority of people were like, I hope this guy never gets back in here again. He was terrible. He was this, he was that, he was this, until they found someone worse. So basically, Biden didn't have to do much. He just had to say, well, I'm not Trump. And that was enough to get him voted in. But now he's basically said, let me finish that sentence for you. I'm not Trump, I'm worse. and now getting to the end of his time, it's basically setting up, the floor for Trump, the red carpet, to say, well, I'm not Trump, I'm worse. Then the people react and say, oh shit, okay, now we want Trump back. And so when you look at the situation, they're saying, okay, well, this border crisis is getting out of hand. Not only are all these people coming into the country, which, damn, wasn't Trump saying he was going to build a wall? Damn, maybe, that sounded like a good idea roundabout now, and he's the one saying, look, put me in there and I'm going to take care of this issue. They're coming in illegally, and now you're seeing why that's a problem. But now you're also seeing the case for him to pitch to say, I'm going to fix this. So they set each other up, they make the scene, they make the other one look good before they can come in. Now, the question remains, if Trump does come into office, what exactly is that going to look like? By that time, will he have will the country be in that much chaos and turmoil that he'll have enough ammunition to be draconian with his measures? Is this whole is this the reason why they're facilitating the influx of migrants into the country, to set up a condition to where it's justified to use more draconian measures? Who knows? I mean, let's see. Right? But in order to bring order, you need chaos. And if there's no chaos, then what order are you going to bring? Order to order? No. So The headline reads, I'm ringing the alarm bell because flood of illegals is crushing the country. Well, the country was already doing bad. Let's say the country was on life support, after the demic. And now it's just like, you got this going on here. So, ahead of President Biden's visit to the southern border on Thursday, with former President Trump planning to visit simultaneously to slam the radicals in the White House for sparking the worst migrant invasion this nation has ever seen. And there are laws on the books to deal with situations like this, and it just takes the certain selected individual to come and take advantage of that, right? So a new graphic released by Bloomberg shows the locations of where illegals have ended up after being bussed through the nation via a shadowy network of taxpayer-funded non-governmental organizations. So, Slakia, but so that this isn't by coincidence. This is being facilitated, this is being, you know, carried out by these shadowy networks. The latest figure from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection shows a whopping 7.3 million illegals have flooded this nation under Biden's first term. It was already evident that illegals were being transported by bus to major Democratic cities such as New York City, Detroit, Los Angeles, Denver, and other urban centers. Now, according to Bloomberg-based data on immigration court records, the cities listed above are in fact where these folks are being shipped. Much of angst around the impact of newly arrived migrants to the U.S. has focused on the biggest cities. And as you can see, New York, Illinois, Colorado, and so on and so forth. So now let's come down and let's see. Okay. So here's going to the statistics, but now here the interesting part with these tweets right here, right? So it says the invasion is happening at such a grand scale that Elon Musk posted on X Tuesday night, I am ringing the alarm bell because the flood of illegals is crushing the country. It's starting to look like it's orchestrated. I mean, it's been looking that way for a while, but it really is, starting to seem that way, right? Where the new face of terror is now illegal immigrants. And hey, who's to say that these people are not a mix of, like we said, maybe different foreign mercenary soldiers, paid actors, or maybe just people that, for all these other countries could be making deals and saying, yo, look, we telling some of their prisoners or some of the bad people in their countries, look, we'll let you out early if you go to the U.S. we'll let you out of prison early. We'll give you money because we're being funded, and then we will ship you to the U.S. and you go over there and you go do whatever you want to do over there. How does that sound for you? That's plausible because they're saying that some of the background of some of these people. I mean, who knows, right? America is only because a lot of them are saying we don't want them back. We don't keep them over there. We don't want them back here. All right, we sent them over there for a reason. So Dems are bursting all over the country. America is only 4% of the Earth's population. If only 1% of the rest of the Earth moves here, that would crush all essential services. I am ringing the alarm bell because the flood of illegals is crushing the country. Senator LaFonza Butler is asking the Biden admin for more FEMA taxpayer money to provide more shelter beds in San Diego after the county migrant shelter there ran out of funding. She says 800 to 1,000 migrants per day will be mass released there without intervention. What do you think they're going to do? They're pretty much having a free-for-all. But eventually, it has to get bad. It's kind of like in this middle ground, right? It has to get bad enough to where they're justified in doing something about it. And whatever it is they're trying to do about it It won't be something, something light. And they're gonna need the right person to do it. So if Trump comes up in there, you can sort of see how this scenario is perfect for him to come up in there and say, look, I'm getting these troops and I'm finding these folks and or whatever I need to do in order to secure the safety of the American people. But maybe they can say, well, now it's way too many people that have been flooded and released. What did we just read? Where was it? They've been mass released. They've mingled amongst the public. How do you identify them? So that's going to be another interesting part to see how that unfolds. There has already been a flurry of headaches about migrants sparking crime waves nationwide. Read, and that's an article right there. Tragically, NYC is on a downward spiral. And I'm telling you, man, from the way this is looking, NYC is going to go from one of those coveted to be in places to one of the most dangerous cities, probably not even just in the East Coast, maybe in the US, with how things are going. It's not looking too good. It's on a downward spiral with unchecked migrant influx, rampant mental illness, and soaring crime rates. The city is bracing for even tougher times. And this is what's happening in the wintertime. You know how things get in the summertime, in the springtime, in fall, but mainly in the summertime. When even on like social media websites, majority of the times when you see like just the craziest things happening, it's usually in the summertime. Whether it's the heat or whatever it is that activates the demons in these people, it's usually the summertime. People, just do the most crazy, outrageous things because they can go outside and do it. They're not rushing from their car to their house or to work or to school because it's cold outside. Now they want to be outside. They don't want to stay at home. So there's fights, there's like these stupid challenges that come out, the milk crate challenge, this challenge, this challenge. People are just bored out of their minds. So if this is what's happening in the wintertime, I mean, look at him. He got a whole coat on. If this is what's happening in the wintertime, what do you think is going to be happening when the weather gets nicer? When people can literally just stay outside. Let's think about that. So it says here the city is bracing for even tougher times. It's a harsh reality, but one we can't ignore. Stranger bashes woman in head with baseball bat. An apparently random NYC attack. This dude just went around. I saw this in GTA. Let me try it out. And now she's hurt. Another day, another migrant crime. This Salvadoran illegal alien has been arrested in Washington, D.C. for the murder of a 2-year-old child. Well, damn. What they do to you? Over the past few weeks, I think I read this in a previous video, but basically you can see it right there. We also saw this right here, in the Bronx. Also saw this video right here. This isn't, if you go to my channel, you look up the I think one of the most recent live streams I did, these videos are in there, I showed all these in there, Oh, would you look at that? Her name is, let's read this. So the latest shit show is a migrant who murdered I think this, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? Who murdered a 22-year-old nursing student, Laken Riley, on the University of Georgia campus last week. Left-leaning corporate media has been hush-hush about this, as well as the Biden administration. So like we keep telling you, this isn't, like, they're not doing, petty crimes. You know what I mean? Like, this is, murder is murder, right? So this is justification. Like, this is riling people up. People are like, yo, we not down with this shit. If it takes Trump to come and fix this, then put his ass in there. Interesting. These poor sweet kids thrown to the wolves by Joe Biden's reckless border policy. Laken Riley, say her name. Okay. You can see another post right here. She was tragically murdered by an illegal immigrant. So once again, they are becoming the face of terror. It's all these things are, matter of fact, let me actually go here. Let me get this real quick. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. When these elites plan something, because of how, sinister they are, they plan, like long, meticulous plans, which require narrative after narrative after narrative, as steps in a procedure to accomplish something that should come into play some years down the line. And if the next narrative is destabilize the country or destabilize the world, and they're like, hey, let's go with a whole migrant situation, then they push that. And they pull the right strings, they have the right resources to have scenarios play out to where it fits their cause. And if you've noticed, they can paint anybody as the new face of terror. Okay? They can do it based on your belief. They can do it based on your nationality. They can do it based on your ideologies or whatever. All they have to do is get somebody that says, hey, I believe the same thing this person does, or I'm from the same place this person is. And then they go and do some wild criminal activities. And now you're categorized along with them. But these are things that they devise, they plan, they come up with these things and they say, okay, make it a reality. And then guess what? You start hearing a little bit there, here, a little bit there. Oh, the border, the border, the border. Then it starts to become more and more, of an issue. Oh, shoot, now it's becoming a major concern. And now it gets to the point where it's like, oh, now they're in the country. Oh, now you're seeing what they're doing. Oh, now you see why we said it was a problem. You mean to tell me that countries that don't even have half the resources that the U.S. has have enough common sense to say, we need to secure our borders to ensure anybody that's coming in or leaving the country is checked. Countries that don't have half the resources the U.S. does at least are able to do that. And you think this is happening by coincidence? Just by the sheer incompetence of your local government, or not your local government, but your federal government? Think again. Think again. Okay. The most concerning part is that a tidal wave of violent crime will only accelerate from here. Imagine hearing that. You do a double take and say, wait, I'm in America? This is not the same America you knew decades ago, right? They're telling you to your face. It's kind of like a purge declaration. Hey, this tidal wave, not this drop, not this one-off anomaly, tidal wave. You know what a tidal wave is? Let me show you what a tidal wave is. Tidal wave. Let's take a look at that. No, I'm all right. That's a tidal wave. You see that? That's the analogy that's being used here. Okay, so if we go back to hear what he's saying here. He's saying that, in this article is saying that, look, this tidal wave of violent crime is only going to accelerate. That doesn't sound too good. A migrant crime wave is gripping the nation. Biden's invasion has landed in our cities and the destruction is fully underway. So, you'll start seeing that 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, as it continues to play out and escalate even more. Yeah, see, a new Gallup poll shows Americans are becoming increasingly angered by Biden's migrant crisis. About 28% of respondents said immigration is top of issue in the U.S. This is up 20% the month before. So you see how now they're starting to be swayed the other way? Because, look, man, when it comes down to people, it's not really about who they like more. If you were to look at these two parties, if you were to look at two different candidates or political whatever, it's not about who they like more. People don't really have enough appeal. These candidates don't have enough appeal to the people. It's more about who they hate more or who they hate less. That's kind of like what's causing, like, how people are deciding where to go nowadays. They just look, you know what? I hate this guy, but I hate this guy more. So I'm going to go with the guy that I hate less. The border crisis is an epic disaster for Democrats ahead of the November elections. So it's going to be an interesting election. You got some states saying that they're not trying to put Trump's name on the ballot. Some are saying, so there's a lot of drama going on. The Biden border crisis is killing us. The BBC, Biden border crisis. Okay. Oh, there's another one. Can't keep up with these stories at this point. Now, media in Louisiana is reporting an illegal alien from Honduras has been arrested for the rape of a 14-year-old girl at knife point and stabbing another man repeatedly during a robbery. ICE detainer lodged. So, I mean, as these things start to go on, you think people are gonna think that it's a bit too much if let's say hypothetically Trump gets in office and says, "Hey, I want to federalize the National Guard. I want to bring troops. I want them to go and find because they're basically like criminals, right? I want to go and find these criminals, and I want to throw them in these FEMA camps, or I want to detain them and then deport them, or I need to institute some nationwide identification system, like whatever it is. People are gonna say, look, these people are sexually assaulting, they're murdering, they're doing all this, that, and the third. It's so bad out here that I'm afraid to go to work, or I'm afraid to take my kids to school. You need to do something about it. Whatever it is you got to do, you do it. That's how they get you. Gotcha. Just how bad? Well, New York City Mayor Eric Adams said Monday night at a community meeting that the city's sanctuary laws need to be reversed to deport the illegals. This is a significant shift after the progressive mayor first welcomed unvetted illegals with welcoming arms. Yeah, what happened, man? Too much for you? Too much spaghetti on your plate? You tired? Meanwhile, Democrats are quickly losing the black vote to Republicans because the Biden administration is prioritizing illegals over their own citizens. Interesting. I thought it was a black community that were swayed to put Biden in there. You had commercials. You had this black boy, so-called black boy, singing about Biden. Y'all remember that video? Also, riddle us this: why are Biden elites gunning for World War III in Ukraine with Russia while flooding the U.S. with millions of unvetted illegals? That's a good question. Let's see. Maybe they try to trigger something over there before they go out of office. Who knows? Maybe Trump comes and continues it. Let's see what else. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for this article. So, once again, like if you're looking at the progressive, wave of how things are going, is it's in a downward spiral, but always keep in mind that there's a narrative going on here, and it's going to become more and more clear why all this is happening. But, keep your eyes open, stay safe, stay in the spirit, pray, and remain circumspect, as the scriptures say. So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and informative to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.